Hey everybody, my name is Todd Standing. I am live from the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center out in the wilderness in the Canadian wilds. On expedition here at the last expedition of September for 2023. Uh, the Sasquatch have been around. Right behind me is where we've heard some rock knocks, had some action. So the expeditioners are very excited. We've been touring around, making new incredible discoveries. Um, Especially, I have to say, so the sorry about the lighting. The Penner Playground is precipitating just new incredible things. The people that I'm out with are highly educated, very intellectual people, and we've been just collaborating, having discussions, looking at possibilities. They've been very impressed with the tracks that are out here, and you never know. Being this is the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center, it'd be awesome to see a Sasquatch show up behind me. This is an area literally where Kyle's had sightings. Ashley and Gabby have had interactions, and over here we've got a spot where Darren had a sighting. Over here we had another sighting where Matt had a sighting, and last week we had a sighting back over here. This is the spot where myself and the other three ladies had a sighting of a Sasquatch. So really, really hot spot. It's been a fantastic year. I've got multiple expeditions still coming, and I would love to answer questions that you have. You'll hear only a generator in the background. I have to run a generator so I can have Wi-Fi, so I can have internet out here. Otherwise, it's dead silent and beautiful. Kyle's coming out next week. Oh my God, it's very exciting. Hello, Zach. Thanks for tuning in today. New Hampshire. James, thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Glad to have you. So it's actually, and again, you might have heard me say the Penner Playground. I credit that to James Penner. James, I just can't even believe the stuff we're finding over there, dude. Like it's totally unreal. I've got one lady out here who's like a PhD genius. She's going to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, but she's really been assisting with showing me stuff that I couldn't even believe, the X's and the amazing connectivity between structure to structure. James, that we didn't notice, where there's a connectivity between the structures and a continuity between them. So it's just absolutely amazing. The Sasquatch out here, the evidence they leave behind for expeditioners to see are absolutely, it's astonishing. The 18-inch track that I took them to, like, literally there's a track. So what happened was, on a Jason Shoot expedition, we heard a boom, and I wasn't able to find the track until the expedition after. But for about a year and a half, I've been showing people this incredible track. I actually have to cast it now. So I'm going to use it's sphagnum moss track, but I'm going to use some just that plastic wrap stuff and pour some cast into it and get a makings of it, because it's such an anatomically brilliant track. It's like 3 inches into the ground. It's absolutely amazing. So, oh, and there's my friend from Nia Bay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Coming out to Nia Bay for sure this year. Nia Bay is in the Washington State Peninsula, and people are just so, if there people out there are in the know that Sasquatch exist. I don't think I've ever met anybody in the peninsula, like driving out, not just to Nia Bay at the tip, but even driving out there. You go into the stores, you see Sasquatch little, paraphernalia, and they all know it's real. So it's a wonderful place for people that are into Sasquatch, and I will be going back to Nia Bay for the rest of my life once a year. It's just got such a special place in my heart. Not just my maintenance worker friend here, but Larry and Analia are wonderful, amazing people. There's so much going on out there that's necessary for the discovery of Sasquatch. And it's much more. It's not about the discovery of a new primate species. It's about the discovery of this incredibly brilliant sentient species, and I'm not picking any bones about it, guys. I'm on the side of the fence where people think, well, why hasn't the discovery been made yet? And from the genius that I see in these incredible beings, I'm literally in the no wonder it hasn't been made, because they are so absolutely fantastic. Zach, I heard you were coming out this weekend. Do not come out this weekend. Wait till next weekend or the weekend after that. I got plenty of room for you, my friend. I just actually heard from Ashley today that Zach was thinking about coming out. Don't come out this weekend. There's no space. But I need you to come out, Zach, and I would love to have you back, so you and your amazing colleague Yeah, I want you guys back really badly. We've been talking about that, so we'll work it out. Just let me come back. With all the sightings, why can't you get one on camera? This is so 2247 TX says with all the sightings, why can't you get one on camera? Well, I'm not using cameras. I don't really care about getting footage. The camera footage, it would just take away from everything that's happening. Like just even last week when I had this incredible sighting, I would have lost out on the experience. And it's not about getting footage anymore. It's about creating a relationship between these incredible beings and human beings to that will, take it to the next level. I want to take people out the way Diane Fossey took people out to their gorillas. And that's really the goal here. And maybe I won't be able to have like, it's kind of probably be weird to have, tours where Sasquatch, that's never going to happen. What I'm doing right now, the evolution of what's happening right now, where I take out expeditioners, is these people will have their own little journeys, and each one of these expeditioners, if they choose to come back, which almost all of them are and are doing, they'll have their journey, they'll have their success, and I'll continue to teach more people like Kyle, like Ashley, like Craig. The list goes on and on. James, so many people. Keep teaching these people, and they can pass on the knowledge and have more success. So my footage is amazing. I'm super proud of it. It's been very successful, and if I do get new footage, I don't want it to be about, oh look, there's a Sasquatch. The new footage if I get it, what my goal is to do something that is repeatable. Hey, the Sasquatch are sitting down with me. They're consistently doing this particular thing, taking apples from somebody's hand. I don't know, just something that's not just a fleeting moment. Because all my other footage, I could take it to the spot, but there's not going to be Sasquatch there. I want to have a piece of footage that is a repeatable thing that is happening and occurring over and over, and that can be done. So, but it'll be special and unique, and the Sasquatch are going to facilitate that, because you have to understand too, I'm out here and I'm a student of the Sasquatch, and all of my expeditioners, after a day or two out here, they understand the brilliant genius behind these beings, and they're right on board with that. I don't have to convince anybody of that. So people see these are absolutely fantastic beings that are genius, like absolutely brilliant, and I can't say enough amazing things about them. So hello, Trevor. Hello from the UK. Had our UK people out here this year. It was fantastic. Hello, Andy. Thanks for tuning in. Kyle, I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for tuning in, dear. Hello from Newfoundland, Canada. I would love to go out there. Heard there's some Sasquatch out in Newfoundland. I don't know. I'm not convinced, but we'll see. Hello, Eric. Christy. Todd, sounds like you're having an amazing time. Christy here watching from Scotland. I'm wishing you all the best. So we are literally an international show. I guarantee there'll be Australians. We've got the UK on here, Scotland, all over Canada, the United States. So what's up, Todd? Videos looking 4K, good stuff. This is 4K? Huh. And this is Elon Musk's Starlink internet. We are literally in the hella middle of nowhere. So we've seen nobody. I'm just looking at my expeditioner, Richard. Say hello, Richard.
Hello.
So we've been having a fantastic expedition. Everybody on board has been just doing so well. It's funny how I'll hike these people great distances. We had an e-bike breakdown and we had to hike an extra distance, and the whole time I'm watching these people. We're hiking up and down hills and through terrain and stuff, and they have these big smiles on their faces and they're enjoying the scenery. We get mountain views and they light up and we take pictures, and we get a specific cloud coming through the mountain. And they look at me and say, well, it's such a beautiful place, it's so gorgeous. And I'm literally like, we're here doing Sasquatch research, and I'm not taking them on a guided tour of the beauty of this place. I'm taking them to the places where I've had success with Sasquatch, and there's evidence of breaks and structures and tracks. If I was taking them to the beautiful places, I mean, this is a gorgeous place, and they're not going to be exposed to it, because it's not about that. And I hear zero complaints. Zero complaints. Hello, Wade. Hi from, there we go, Australia. I'm a regular follower. Thanks for tuning in, Peter. We had Adam come out here last year, an amazing man from Australia. Really got me over the top. I always highly suspected the Yowie was real, and he's convinced me 100%. Good evening. I need some questions, guys. Hi from West Virginia, the Appalachian foothills. We have Sasquatch in our forest. Linda, if you have information about Sasquatch, Andy will put this up in a minute. Please send us an email at bigfootencounters@gmail.com. I would love to hear what you have to say about the West Virginian Appalachian foothills Sasquatch that you know. So I am. Thank you for putting that up, Andy. I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. If you can easily afford a donation and you want to be a part of this discovery process, this is what we do. We're out here, boots on the ground, looking for Sasquatch, making the discovery happen, and that's that. How tall would you say Kubota is? 8'4". I've got him clocked in at. So, and something happening with Kubota, just through what I'm feeling and the kind of mind speak details that we're getting. Kubota has been sort of vilified because he did, in fact, attempt to steal a woman. And that's in the Ina story. If you haven't seen it, it's here on my YouTube channel. But I feel like he wants to be not thought of that way. I believe in this troop of Sasquatch, Kubota is now becoming an elder and moving into a different position. And I'm going to really try to, not try, I'm going to focus on just him moving off and being forgiven for what happened and going off to the next level. So Dan Woodcock says, not sure what you think about the friends being in Ontario, but the signs are there. Well, I mean, I've never seen any evidence of Sasquatch in Ontario, but I would be stunned and shocked if I ever learned that they were not in Ontario. You know, there was this recent thing with Sasquatch Ontario, who's an absolute fraud and a liar, and that's public now, and I will be very happy to say that. He's done, and I don't want to hear about him anymore. But that's just one person that doesn't represent Ontario. There's got to be Sasquatch in Ontario. There's certainly in Manitoba, which is right next door, and I've been to Ontario many times. The habitat is gorgeous and beautiful. It's abundant, and I absolutely am certain that there are Sasquatch there, even though I have no evidence to substantiate that. But I've heard many stories and talked to elders and whatnot. So yeah, Julie says, don't need footage to know that they are real. Boom, thank you, Julie. But I do have footage. I'll try to plan around next weekend then. Thank you, Zach. Well, I'll be talking to you on Sunday. I'm so sorry that I didn't get back to you and your bro there. I just got so crazy busy this week. So Trevor Archer, you should be. That's cool. Hi, Todd, June, and Andrew from Australia. More Australians. Crikey, mate. Welcome to the show. Happy to have you. Keep up the great work, Todd, from Tristan. You're by far the best researcher. Don't say that, please. You're going to start controversy. Appreciate how I'm different from other researchers, but don't, if I'll say this, I've said this before, I'll say it again. If there's ever a best Sasquatch researcher competition, I will not be showing up for that. So lots of researchers doing really great work out there, and I give them respect and support, and what I do is certainly different. Even I have to kind of admit that the level that we're at here with the way I can take, even for example on this expedition, I find that particularly on this expedition so the people are very different. I've got two ladies and a gentleman, and it's wonderful to see these people that are so different all have their own growth with Sasquatch, wouldn't you say? Like everybody's kind of growing at the same level, and I'll stop and cue them at, what do you think of this, what do you think of that? And they're really just honestly moving forward and appreciating the evidence as it is, and I think it's wonderful. So this is a fantastic expedition. I'm out here with very mature, very intelligent people, and one thing I'm disappointed at, and I'm going to look at them both all of them right now, is I don't feel like they're challenging me enough. I'd like to be questioned a little more, pushed. So they're being very agreeable to stuff, and I'm kind of not used to that. But then on the other hand, intelligent people just accept factual, real stuff, right? You're not going, like we've got this, oh my God, I gotta go show this. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put you on camera. I gotta show you guys this. This is unreal. This is next level. I can't believe. So the expeditioner, who will not be named, is the one who discovered this. Look at this, guys. You see that? That's I'm told that's called a love knot. That's a tree that was knotted together, and what you're not seeing from that, let me put it up here. So I put it on my trailer. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you have to understand the significance of this, people. So the branches aren't broken. So I don't know how that could have ever grown that way, but even if it did grow that way, something knotted it together. Only a Sasquatch could do that. And I actually believe that that is evidence of frequency manipulation. So that would be the third piece of evidence that I have of frequency manipulation that is so important, because I don't believe the power, the tree breaks that are out here, I don't believe that power exists, period. I've worked with engineers and brilliant men and women I literally believe some of these tree breaks are so big, the power that it would take to break them would crush the tree above and below before the break was made. And I'm gonna have to change. So Richard, that's out here, who I can talk about. So one is a, how do you call the brakes?
Uh, uh, Bending.
A bending brake is what I call a pressure brake, but this is proper engineering terminology.
Bending stress. Bending failure.
Bending failure.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Shear stress.
A shear stress,
Failure.
shear
Stress.
failure, and a bending failure.
Yeah.
So I'm likely gonna introduce those terminologies in. But so that was a huge discovery today. I hope you can appreciate how that just can't happen. Like literally, I'm looking at a tree, and these trees are not bendable. I had my colleague here was trying to make it out of small trees that are more bendable, and she was completely unable to make that kind of a knot with any kind of tree that exists out here, even more bendable trees. Never mind the fact that that's a Douglas fir. I can tell by the bark. Douglas firs, they don't bend like that. Like it was literally softened by frequency, knotted, and I can't even explain like how.
It may have been still alive and the branches grew.
Right.
It was not.
So what you're saying is, it was knotted and then it grew, and the branches grew out later.
Possibly.
Oh, I just.
I don't know.
But
It's
we're,
just a-
we're not arguing though. At one point, it was manipulated
It
by
was
a
knotted.
being. It was
Yeah,
knotted
it
by
was
a
knotted
being.
at one
Like
point.
no tree is ever gonna grow like that. It's not possible. And any way you look at it, something put its hand, and it's a Sasquatch. We were up in Sasquatch habitat. We found it. What do you think? Maybe 10, 20 yards from the road. But nobody would have. There's no people out here doing that. I don't know. Like it's all these incredible miracles are things that Sasquatch can do, and I see them so often, and my mind is always blown by them. So lots more research. I'd love to hear about what you guys have to say, because that's going to be a big topic of interest in the next month or so. I'm going to really hit that hard. I'm gonna send it to Jeff Meldrum and really talk about it hard, because it's very very impressive stuff. Zach asked me, is there any action around Nordegg that you have heard lately? Well, Zach, go to my YouTube video. I was in Nordegg for 3 days when I got burned out of radium here, and we were watched by a Sasquatch. We found tracks of a Sasquatch watching us from a particular point, so that was pretty cool. And I saw tree breaks and signs of Sasquatch in my Nordegg area. You haven't been to the specific Nordegg spot though, so just you're gonna come do my radium stuff this year. We're gonna attack Nordegg hard next year, especially with you and your bro and Mark. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of people up in Nordegg doing work there, because it's an incredible spot, and we got to get some stuff going on there. What's up, people? BC Canada. Hello, Sasquatch seekers. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Scott from Missouri. Thank you for tuning in. Andrew, do you have any news of Jeff Meldrum? We hope he's recovering. Last time I heard, he was recovering well, and he was actually, I didn't talk about it, but he was literally supposed to be on this expedition with us this year, and because of his health reasons, he was not able to do so. So very disappointing. But the Sasquatch community, I don't know what you want to call it, but anybody who's involved in this endeavor should have nothing but gratitude for what Jeff Meldrum has done. The work he has put into this topic is immense, and he's very passionate about it. And the Sasquatch discovery is just has to be grateful and nothing but gratitude. Love him or hate him for all the hard work he's put into it, and the steps forward that he's made in the progress of this discovery are immense and amazing. And I'm very grateful for him. He's an amazing man, just totally amazing. Had Mongolian monster knock and growl encounter while cutting firewood in northern AZ. A Mongolian monster in northern Arizona. Well, again, we'd love to hear about it at bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Scott says he's unoffendable. Maybe me? I am quite unoffendable, I think. Be careful out there, Todd. Thank you, Light Bet DM. I wonder what the Bigfoot think of airplanes and cars. Huh. That's a good question. Because airplanes, even where we are, I had one expeditioner comment. So I'm I'm between Calgary and Vancouver at this research area, and we get airplanes that come over and we can hear them. You know what? I would just I'm so woo about this. They're gonna be able to feel the energy of a being in those airplanes. They're gonna be able to feel the energy of beings in cars. They're gonna cars specifically. They see people get in and out of cars. They watch me drive up in my vehicle and get out of my vehicle and get back into it. So they're gonna be aware of them. And if I was a Sasquatch, well, airplanes aside, I would think cars are very rote in that you know where he's going. He's going down the road, and he's going to go down that road. He's not going to go off the road. Whereas something like any animal, you know, a bear, a deer, a Sasquatch, they can move anywhere through the bush. They're completely capable of going any which way, form, direction, up, down, left, right. So I think it makes us very predictable. And beyond that, I wouldn't have much else to say about it. So, and there's Andy putting up the ways to document your encounter. Thank you, Andy. I support that 100%. Marilyn here. Thank you for tuning in, Marilyn. Hey, Sasquatch teachers from Edmonton, Alberta. Myself had a couple of my own encounters by Nordegg a couple years ago. Then met Todd this spring. Oh, this is Zach. Great to be. Yeah, Zach had tremendous success. Zach was part of the really solidified me this year that people have come out here and their personal growth that they go through, their personal changes that they go through is just so amazing. People come out here and it literally changes their lives in a real positive way. And I'm just speechless at how every single person I've been taking out in the past 3 years sit down and say, man, this has really changed my perspective, changed my life. Doesn't matter if they work in the city, they work urban, rural, what their job is. It's really, it just, the whole purpose of these expeditions is to connect you to nature. I have people picking and eating berries and foraging, and there's not a dandelion leaf to be found within 200 yards of my base camp because we started making them in salads and putting them on sandwiches, and they're gone. Even clovers, gone. Like we just forage and eat all that stuff, right? So I'm being forced to expand my knowledge of wild edibles because every wild edible I know about gets completely consumed and eaten. It's pretty funny. I have a cold. It's just going to be a very acute one. My kiddo went back to school and gave me a cold from school, so it is what it is. Some people act like like a Sasquatch is going to come up, shake your hand, and invite you to come out and meet him. The miss probably not. I know what you're saying, Mike. No, it's not something the Sasquatch is going to do. I don't think really ever. It's just not their way. But I'd like to find a way to. There's got to be something more. I refuse. You know, I was talking about with my expeditioners today, the amazing and great Randy Brisson, who I just admire. I think he's really at an elite level when it comes to wilderness and Sasquatch knowledge. And one thing that I'm not happy about is, well, Randy's happy with the level that he's at. He's happy with the tracks and the sightings and stuff that he gets. I'm going to tell you something. I am not. I am very ambitious. I have every intention of growing and expanding. And that's an enormous reason why I continue to do these expeditions. The vast majority, if not all of my expeditioners are highly intelligent, amazing people. They all have different, incredible perspectives. And if they stick, they become part of my cooperation forever. Like I'd like to keep these people in my life. You know, I'd like to go to their funeral, they go to mine, like have relationships that build that long. These are very intelligent men and women. And when you come out here with me, it's very personal. You know, we talk about personal things, we open up, and that's what Sabe is about. It's about being personal, it's about being transparent. So come out here, we talk about issues, we stay positive, and we grow and expand, and I expect those relationships to continue. It's almost like people go to war and they build these traumatic bonds, and this is like the opposite of that, where you come out to this beautiful place and you build these positive bonds. You learn about what people are made of. I love it when a bear comes around, or wolves, or something, you know, an elk comes through, and we'll bond, or even ideally a Sasquatch. You know, we find out what we're really made of, and we build these special bonds. And like Zach will tell you, and Mark, and all the people that come out with me, you really learn who Todd Standing really is. Like the myth will be gone. This is the man. There is no myth anymore. I understand him. I bring people to my house. I introduce them to my son, my girlfriend Ashley, to my children. They know my dog. Like I'm completely transparent about who I am and what I represent, and they give that back to me, and it creates this incredible growth, and it's important for the discovery of Sasquatch. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, because this is very personal to me, guys. Like this is, even the expeditioners today that are sitting around me, they'll attest to. I got a headache, and I told them to stop providing me with this information. Julie made a discovery about these X's, and it was just so much, and I literally have like a headache because it's just because I'm crazy passionate. I mean, even they're looking at me crazy genius. I don't know, maybe a little bit of both. And I really accept that because you work so hard. I mean, we even did stuff today that was kind of a bust. We went looking for something and it didn't work. And that's the whole point of research is it's not always going to have that precipitate incredible amazing results. You take it step by step. And I'll tell you something. I've had years with no success out here. I've had years of things that have caused failure in my life, and I've persevered. But that shows, I think, and these expeditioners will attest to that, when something great happens, I learn new information. I just literally, the expression mind blowing. My mind is literally blown. So also, I'd like to talk about something that happened yesterday, specifically with Mind Speak. I'm going to speak specifically about an expeditioner that I can't name, but the Sasquatch called her Funny Girl. And the reason I want to talk about this is so she had a hat on that I didn't really notice. She's out hiking and she's wearing a hat, but it looked kind of funny. And the and she actually calls herself. She says I'm a 14-year-old with a credit card. So she's kind of indicating I'm kind of immature and crazy about my stuff. But the Sasquatch looked at her and felt her energy, and they literally communicated to me that she was funny. And but what's never happened to me before is they thought she was so funny that when it hit me, it actually pained me. I never felt like laughter and joy, like she's so funny, oh my God. And it hit me, and I was reading this, and I actually had pain in my head for hours, 3, 4 hours before I went to bed. I went to bed going, man, I'm glad that pain was gone. And I felt it shooting all the way down into here. And it was their joy. And people have talked to me about, do Sasquatch have comedy? Are they funny? And I've had my references before, but I've never had a Mind Speak reference like that. It was very profound, and I ended up talking to the expeditioner after, and she goes, "Yeah, I am funny, and I do live kind of a funny life." And she appreciated even being referred to as the funny girl, and but very very powerful the way. And the other thing that I felt too that was profound was one Sasquatch was looking at us and watching us. And I think most of my expeditioners are going to be in agreement upon that. We just had evidence of things going on. And this particular funny girl felt that something was watching us as well. But what was powerful to me and almost very obvious to me is, this particular individual was looking at us and watching us. And he showed me all of the expeditioners and gave me all his feelings on each one that I discussed with him. But when he saw the laughter in the funny girl, there were other Sasquatch that couldn't see her, but immediately shared in that emotion. So I was there, there's a Sasquatch that was watching us, and 2 other Sasquatch at least that couldn't see her, but they might as well have seen her. It was that, like, in other words, when one Sasquatch is witnessing something, he's so tightly mind-spoked and connected to the other Sasquatch that they are literally visualizing that same thing and feeling that same emotion. And that's probably why it was so overpowering to me, because it wasn't just him that thought it was funny, it was the other 2. They just thought it was hilarious. And very, very powerful. In fact, I would say, although I may be sounding like it was a little bit traumatic for me, the truth is I've felt joy in my life. Like, I've had a wonderful, incredible, amazing life. And I've actually never felt like pure laughter power like that. And that doesn't even surprise me, that when it comes to emotional states, mental, physical, emotional specifically, and humor, that the Sasquatch are going to feel it more powerfully and more deeply. And that's what I experienced yesterday. And it was really, that was kind of life-changing for me. So, just my thoughts. This is Zach. Have you ever showed anyone the straw bend break? Zach, I'm having trouble finding that damn straw bend break. So Zach, what I just showed you with the love knot shows or has potential to prove that frequency has been used to manipulate things. But that damn straw tree break that's over here somewhere, I can't find it. So I'll tell my expeditioners about it, as well as people there. So there's a tree break over there, and it's just a regular Rocky Mountain Douglas fir. And what happened was it was broken, or attempted to be broken, and I believe they used frequency on it to soften it, and it was too much frequency. And when it bent, it ended up looking like just the way a straw bends. These trees do not bend like that at all, ever. They don't. It's not possible. This is an acute general bend, and this thing looks like a damn straw. And you look at it and you feel it, and it bubbled out like a straw. Like, do you understand what I just said? It bubbled. These trees, when they break, there's no bubbling. You know how a straw will bubble out as you bend it, as the pressure pushes it out, because it doesn't break. This freaking tree bubbled out. I believe and again, this is up for discussion because this was newly discovered this year. The only way that can happen is if a being like a Sasquatch softens it with frequency and then bends it, and there wasn't enough uh, hardness because there was too much frequency used, that it softened it so much that it bent like a straw, like like plasticine or something. And I'll tell you, these trees that we have out here, the Douglas fir and the pine, they're famous for not bending. They snap, they break, they're strong wood. There's no ductile bendability in these things at all. Especially the tree that I'm talking about has about a 2.5, maybe 3-inch diameter. Trees that thick do not straw bend. It won't happen, and that's tremendous evidence. And so your answer, Zach, is I can't find the damn thing. I know it's out there, but I've looked for it a couple times. Even Zach, the freaking spot that we found where the Sasquatch was watching me, that we believe that female, I can't even find that. And I videotaped it. I videoed it. I watched the damn video out here. I'm looking around the bush for signs of it, and I haven't figured it out yet. So, Christy says, can I ask, please, do you think Sasquatch can cloak? Reason I asked, I've seen people's videos with thermal images and they seem to disappear. Well, Christy, there was a hoax that was done. I'm just going to talk about it because I know for a fact Expedition Bigfoot had that thermal image and then it disappeared. If you're talking about that one, that's a lie. I know the special effects makeup artist and the special effects people that were involved in making that shenanigan happen. So that's a lie. Can they cloak? I can't see how they would cloak. Literally, like, the only way I could, maybe if they hit you with some mind speak or they made you think something differently, or, but literally like cloaking, as in, you know, they become disappearing and you're talking interdimensional stuff, not for 1 second. I don't buy that for 1 second. So I don't think they just disappear. I'm a person who's had so many encounters and so many sightings, and they don't disappear, they don't cloak. I've never seen any evidence of that. And many people are going to challenge me on that. In fact, Christy, you're right below Ashley K. That's my pretty lady, and she'll probably disagree with me strongly and say they do have the ability to cloak. And actually, my mentors in Nia Bay that I speak so highly of, they also believe they can cloak, and I just completely disagree with them. And they talk about they talk about interdimensional travel and stuff. I have a thorough understanding of physics. We are three-dimensional beings, and they say they travel in a fourth-dimensional being on a three-dimensional plane would look like everything everywhere. No difference than a three-dimensional being on a two-dimensional plane. So I think when we start talking literally out of our asses about 4 dimensions and 5 dimensions, stuff like that, it really bothers me because I think we're taking legitimate physicists that I would like to attract towards this discovery and losing them immediately because it doesn't make any sense. It's not good science. A three-dimensional being exists on a three-dimensional plane, period. If there's fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional things, if you're talking about spirituality and sending messages, well, sure, possibly there might be something to do with that. But I'm a three-dimensional being. You put me on a four-dimensional plane, I'm going to be a spot, nothing. It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that does this discovery process any justice to start talking like that because it's not a reality. So thank you for tuning in, Ashley. I'm very happy to see you here. This is Maryland Sasquatch Watcher. Evenings, blessings. Thank you, sir. Billy and Ash, greetings. Everybody saying hello to Ashley K. Camping with Sasquatch. Kind of what I'm doing right now. So I'm excited to, it seems what's happening quite a bit on these expeditions is when we arrive day one, they kind of introduce themselves. So we heard some rock knocking. Then they seem to back off. And what my idea of an expedition is I'll take my people out and I'll walk them around so the Sasquatch can watch them and pay attention to them, see them how they love nature or not, how they react with the wilderness. Because I'll tell you something, and this is going to be absolutely universal. These beings, the Sasquatch, they absolutely treasure and adore and love the wilderness. They are symbiotic, a part of it, and they love it. So if you don't have that, in fact, their purpose of life is everything to do with wilderness and wild. If you don't appreciate the wilderness, if you don't even, if you just appreciate the wilderness, kinda, you have no place out here. You have no place communicating or attempting to do something with Sasquatch. You have to come out here and love the place and feel joy, love your time out here. And if you do that, that will bring you to the possibility for, as a student, to attract the masters to come and communicate with you. And even something I haven't been talking about much is, I think a desire to learn will bring you the best likelihood of having a Sasquatch encounter. And I'll explain to you why. I'm a snowboarding instructor. I freaking love snowboarding. I would teach snowboarding for free. I see somebody falling down a mountain and busting their ass and having a bad day snowboarding. I go and help them. I can't help it because I want them to love snowboarding the way I love it because I think it's such a beautiful, incredible sport. And the Sasquatch feel that same way. If you're out in the wilderness and you're learning, you have that desire to learn, you're passionate about the wilderness, well, they love the wilderness. And as masters of the wilderness, they're going to want to teach you. And I think that more than anything else is the best way to attract and have, a sighting or to get Sasquatch involved in your research in your life is to go out and just learn, study it, learn. And I try so hard to do that with my expeditioners. And I noticed that pretty much without exception, they're all picking up what I'm explaining to them. They all care, and and I see it so much. I teach somebody about a berry, and I see them foraging and picking up those berries, and just those little things like that really matter to me. So, um, Zach, Nordic is much closer for me to dedicate my time to. I'm looking forward to it. And Zach, I'm gonna give you some stuff. I would love to have you guys out there and doing research on that. That would be amazing, especially you and your bro, man. You guys are amazing people. Now we have China Productions. This is Kim, who was on the last expedition out there, and Kim will attest to she saw green eyes right there. So Kim was one of the 3 ladies that was out with me last week. We had tremendous success, and a lot of amazing things happened. They'll be coming out in videos to follow. I was a little mind blown by a couple of things that have happened, and I haven't really talked about them yet. So, but there'll be videos upcoming about it. So, looking forward to that. Hi from England. Hello, stay humble. Thanks for tuning in. Nordegg is amazing. Ashley, you haven't even been to Nordegg with me. So Ashley loves the land up there, though. She has a special connection to that land, and I would love to take her up to the Nordegg area, and I will very soon. I look forward to it. Camping with Sasquatch says, yeah, I'm fascinated by the impossible bends. Like you said, trees don't bend like that. When I imagine too, so I talked about this today, where the Sasquatch make all these structures, make these tree breaks for us, like on the road, and make structures by the road for us. And I can't imagine how it would feel to go and do something so intricate, so amazing, so precise, and they get completely unnoticed. Because I guarantee you something, the Penner Playground, which is part of my expeditions now and forever, who's ever heard of a spot where literally there's a dozen structures and counting that we just keep discovering. It's new things. Every time I go out there, it's 3, 4 new things we figure out. It's absolutely amazing. And they did all this, and they got no attention for it. They got ignored. That has got to be bothersome. To put all that effort, to make the breaks, to do all this stuff to attract attention, and then be completely ignored for no other reason than blatant and utter ignorance. So that's why it's so important that this information gets out there. If you've seen the Penner Playground video, it's on my YouTube channel. Go watch it. It's very important that we learn to recognize these things. The triangle that I'm talking about, the 3 pieces of the triangle that go together that they do, little cues that are smoking guns that these structures could not be natural. And you do have to break that down because weird stuff does happen. There is blowdown. There is trees that fall on odd things. You need to find a smoking gun before you get all crazy about it being a Sasquatch structure. And I'm telling you, the people that I bring out here unanimously are agreeing, even hardcore skeptics. I mean, that didn't happen naturally, and men didn't do that. So it's not bears, it's not elk, it's not mountain lions aren't doing it. So, the answer is it's absolutely Sasquatch. It's important that we recognize that. So, Zach, I've had success there. Actually, you've been to Nordegg and had success there? You little brat. What do you even, we're going to have a talk. So, my cough sounds harsh. Well, you should have heard me last night. Last night, we had likely a Sasquatch bang on the trailer. And my throat was so sore, I went, Richard! Rich! And I just rolled over my back to sleep. I can't even speak. My throat was so sore. But we woke up this morning and talked about it. And also, it's nice to have substantiation. So we both heard it about the same time. And it looks like the trailer next to us, so I have 2 trailers out here. And the trailer that the ladies were sleeping in, they also heard a bang that was specifically on your trailer. Your trailer. You heard a bang on your... It wasn't our trailer. It was your trailer.
No,
So-
felt the trailer move.
And you felt the trailer move too. Okay.
The trailer
So,
shook.
and it's the same time. So that really is significant evidence. And as Zach will tell you, and so many other expeditioners that have been out here, they bang on our trailers big time. They definitely something they do. So, excuse me. Lake is where I had my original encounter and made me a believer. I have somewhat nervous. I am somewhat nervous going there now. LOL. Well, and that happens. So, Todd researches Sasquatch, not dogmen. That is correct. Thank you for that. I don't believe that dogmen exist, but I could be wrong. So, it's just my perspective. Connect to the natural world is absolutely important, 100%. Remember to hit a thumbs up icon. Thank you, Andy, for reminding us. The water is beautiful there. To drink it, be in it. It literally cleanses your body and mind. And I couldn't agree with you more, Zach. What's sad is I'm literally seeing the degradation of streams as the glaciers are melting and streams are disappearing, which my children will likely not see half of these beautiful glaciers because they'll be all melted. So, hey Todd, it's Mike from Florida. What do you think about the love knot? If the Bigfoot soaked the tree in water in order to tie the knot without breaking it, just a thought. Well, any way you look at it, Lisa, a Sasquatch manipulated that. I don't think. I can't even conceive a human being having done that. It's not. It's just so inconceivable. The only people that come out here are loggers and wildlife officers to make a love knot like that and throw it. No matter which way you look at it, it was it was done by a living being, and in an area where there's Sasquatch tree breaks, Sasquatch activities, Sasquatch sightings. I believe it was. I'm so convinced of it right now. And I'm trying to be skeptical, but yeah, it has to be a Sasquatch. So agreed. Zach cleanses all your levels and energizes Ashley, but Ashley, you're not really ice bathing anymore, are you? So Sabe equals honesty, absolutely true. Check out Ashley's YouTube channel, and I highly recommend you check out Ashley's YouTube channel. Um, Most of the things that she has going on is out here, and she's having tremendous success. And I'm gonna announce it. So Ashley has never been up to the top of Radium, and weather permitting, in the expedition after this one, it's Ashley and Todd Stanley are going to go up to the top of Radium and spend several nights on that mountain. And then I've got Kyle coming out, I got Jason Shoot, and I got somebody who does not want to be named. We're all going to go do the Radium hike, so I'm really excited for them, having tremendous success. The Radium hike, so in the episode of Survivorman, that's where he filmed the top of the head of a Sasquatch. And that place is exceptional, amazing, holy ground. When I go up there in October or September, the results I garner are absolutely spectacular, and it's totally amazing. Then you can check that out, because last year in on the Jason Shoot expedition, where he and I went up there, we had tremendous success, and I was really happy about it. So gratitude to you, Kim. Thank you. It changes your body and soul. Zach knows about how awesome and amazing the water is out here. It's so fantastic. It's wonderful to be part of that. So, and I'm finding too, years ago I had expeditions that were very disagreeable about drinking the water, and now it's not even a problem. Most people are. It seems there's been a paradigm shift, because there was beaver fever, and what if a deer pees in it, and all these preposterous little, they're dead animals in the water and stuff. And it seems that paradigm has shifted. I don't really have to convince anybody, really, even people that are kind of germaphobes and super clean people. They look at that water, they drink it. It's amazing, and you feel it in your body. It's nourishing. It's structured. It's absolutely a godsend, and it's very spiritual to be able to drink and connect to the land from water that's thousands of years old, coming off the glaciers and mineralizing and all that amazing stuff. Found another tree break like the one in Radium. A tree break bent and held under it. Wow, good for you, James. That's so amazing. I took the expeditioners. I take every expeditioner to that now. I hope that thing lasts for years, because the bent tree under the tree break, it's absolutely astonishing. But as amazing as that is, that darn Penner Playground just blows my mind. Let alone a Bigfoot. That would be quite an experience. Well, you can apply at my website. Go have a look there, and we'll see how it goes. If you do apply at my website, probably a good idea, since you can understand I get thousands of people that apply, to maybe put a little bio about yourself, because if you just say, hi, it's Trevor and I want to go on an expedition, probably going to bypass you for the person below me who spills his guts and tells me about his life and why this is an important thing to him and gets passionate. If you're not passionate, if you're not deeply heartfelt, if you're not passionate about the things in your life, you're not going to really do well on expedition with me out here. I'm an extremely passionate to the point of being kind of weird, and I'm never going to change. I love this. I love what I do. I'm very young right now. I'm very spry. I'm killing it on these expeditions, fitness-wise, and I expect to be out here for decades and decades to come. Love the Ash, Sabe, Honesty, Obidjawa, Grandfather Teachings, and thank you, Camping with Sasquatch. Yay, James. Congratulations. Oh, thanks for the Suave, James. I haven't tried it yet. I'm very impressed with what you did, so I'm looking forward to using it. Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs up from Andy. Everybody saying hi. Zach says Tar's the real deal, folks. Well, and Zach would know because he spent 7 days out in the bush, literally bleeding with me. So I think on the day we all gave blood to the mountain as we tried to hike up the craziest backcountry bush, I think Zach had the least bled up legs of us all. But what an awesome day that was. A full Alberta Boy expeditions. Shout out to Alberta Boys. I'm an Alberta boy, born and raised. And I got to go out with 3 other tough dudes, and it was a wonderful experience. That's the only time I've ever done that, is with it's kind of hard to get all Canadians. It's not even an all Canadian expedition, is it? Damn it. It's so hard to get Canadians out here. But because a vast majority of the people that come out are from the United States of America, which is awesome. I love the U.S. Excited to get back there this year and cooperate. I remember years ago when we were surrounded by Sasquatch. That's something you never forget. Well, Mike, I'd love to hear about that. BigfootEncounter@gmail.com. Please send it to us. Your videos and pictures are so amazing. Thank you, sir, for your efforts. Naysayers are not to be acknowledged. What an amazing life you have experienced with them all. I am so blessed. Like, my goodness, I just can't help but feel like my life is just miracles and magic. It's getting darker out. Ooh, the sun is going down. We've been using the drone. In fact, my colleague today has more drone experience than I have. Got me a little ticked off because here I am, all year I've been using the drone, and he's got more droning hours than I do. But it's not turning out at all like I was hoping. So even today, was it today we did a drone up in the morning?
No, 2 days. Yes.
Anyways, there's been a lot of heat, a lot of disappointment in the imaging. So it's tough. I think I would have better success at night. However, if I ever filmed the Sasquatch at night, it'd be all thermal. I would not be able to substantiate it with the 4K camera because the camera doesn't film at night. So I'm just going to have to keep banging away at it. Temperatures are getting cold right now. And I'm still, even with these cooler temperatures, I mean, I'm all dressed up, and so are the expeditioners. We're still seeing like black rocks that are hot and tree trunks that are hot. So it's not been precipitating as much. Thank you for tuning in, Raw Creations. Would you like to go on an expedition with Todd, Kyle, or Ashley? That is the link to go to. Thank you for putting that up, Andy. We're all done for this year, but I'm telling you, and listen to me very carefully, if you are interested in coming on an expedition with me, I'm going to be sold out in November, and I mean sold out. I intend December to just work on my documentary. January, I'm going to start organizing my American expeditions. I intend to go to Alabama, Texas, Florida, and Tennessee. So I'm literally going to be sold out in November. So and believe me, I could be sold out. I could just take back expeditioners that have previously come out. I can only take 30 people a year. I have about 45 expeditioners that want to come back. The only way that's working is these expeditioners are going on out to my research site without me because they're so well trained and they know the area. So don't wait. You better apply right away. I don't know how many new people I will be taking out, but I always insist on taking new people and growing and expanding as best I can. So I'll do this Camping with Sasquatch question. Someone received the message that they would feel like if we had that feeling, like you can't stop laughing all the time. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't really feel like that though. I laughed. Like, actually, I barely laughed. I went, but what hit me was emotion of laughter. Remember, I'm mind speaking, and I don't really, when I mind speak something, I'm not acting it out. I'm feeling it in my head, literally in my head. Oh, so I'm going to give Elon Musk a call. We lost Starlink satellite for a minute. But anyways, I was just talking about the emotions and the power of it, and really, I think for the first time it gave me some insight into how the emotions that Sasquatch experience are going to be so profound. That emotion was laughter, but what will happen when I feel the emotion of love, of curiosity, of all the different kinds of even anger or frustration? The emotions are so powerful that I had trouble adapting that into my mind. And I'll tell you, if I was ever going to pick an emotion to first hit me and overpower me, it would be laughter. I never ever could have imagined it would be so powerful that it actually like pained me and gave me discomfort. So but on the flip side of it, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me, because they are just such amazing beings. They're an incredible species. I'm so grateful to be able to do this, to have the opportunity to be out here and do this research. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center, and I'm out here 10 weeks a year. I take over 30 people out on expedition. We're having tremendous success. The discovery of Sasquatch is happening, hopefully in other places as well as here, and so much more to come. This is a fantastic year, and this is the best time of year, so stay tuned for so much more to come. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.